This is a fight I want to look back on. Shout out the shout out MMA Classics for this footage and video on YouTube. Go check out their channel. Go subscribe. I haven't watched back this fight since I watched it live, so it's gonna be like a live reaction slash breakdown. I kind of love doing these videos, so like y'all let me know if y'all like it. I guess when I think about Gene Silva, I think about kind of like just I was explaining in my last video, like Ruffy striking, just being unpredictable. Gene Silva does a way better job though in mixing things up better, being just being more, I guess you could say, just like no fucks given, basically. Whereas Ruffy is a little bit more technical, calculated. He's gonna line up his shot. He's gonna pick up his shots. Whereas Gene Silva, like I said, guns blazing. So it's gonna be interesting how Diego Lopez deals with that, because just like Diego, or just like Gene Silva, Diego can be like explosive as well. As y'all know, y'all have seen Diego Lopez fight in the past, Brian Ortega. But just as well as he is closing the pocket and being explosive, bro, we learned this fight he's good at like being technical too. Cause like, bro, Volk is a technical fighter. And Volk having to play on the back foot, having to come inside, close the distance against a fighter who thrives in the inside. Very challenging for Volk. It wasn't easy. From the first time I remember when I was watching it, I remember thinking it was not going to be an easy fight, and I don't think it was. Volk did come out with the win, and if I do remember correctly, I think Volk mixed up the grappling well. Gene Silva, he's not a grappler. Oh my God, I'm lying, dude. He has 3 subs. What? He subbed Bryce Mitchell. I did see his last fight, but I haven't seen any other fight where he's on the ground. I guess I'll have to see like the Souza win, or maybe I'm missing a fight that I didn't watch. But that's interesting though. Though I don't think he's like an offensive grappler. No, like he's not gonna go out there and look for takedowns. I don't think I've seen that. I can confidently say that. But it will be interesting because, like with a fighter like Diego Lopez, like you gotta show him so many different things, so many different looks. And I think Gene Silva could do it in the striking. It's just gonna be up for grabs for really what he could do as far as a game plan. I know Volk's game plan was to show him everything, keep the fight at his pace, keep the distance on his side, just like he does pretty much every fight. Except this fight, I'm not gonna lie, he fought a lot smarter in just really keeping the distance. I think that was the #1 thing this fight, and that's because, like I said, Diego Lopez likes to crash in the pocket. He's a pocket fighter. So it's gonna be interesting because I know Gene Silva's not gonna back down from a fight. I'm not saying Volk did. Obviously, y'all saw how Volk got in a firefight and a couple of exchanges back and forth with Lopez, but more in a way I think he's not going to have a more calculated approach, and I think we're going to see this early on from Gene Silva or from Diego Lopez. I just think it's going to be a fast fight. Like, I don't think they're going to give any breathing room in the first. I don't think they're going to do any studying. I just think they're going to get to it. I have a funny feeling about that. That's not even off like just film study or just like what I think is going to happen. I just have a funny feeling on it. Diego Lopez, though, definitely fought well this fight. I'm more excited to see what he learned, because it's like you go against a fighter like Volkanovski, you got to learn something after losing to a fighter with such a degree resume, with such a great experience, and he gave you multiple things this fight, as well as you had your moments this fight too. So looking back at film, changing maybe some things he did wrong this fight, and seeing where it could translate to fight against Gene Silva would be interesting. I think Diego is pretty big as well. As you see in the clinch here, like I'm noticing, he's actually like a lot bigger than I thought, or that I remember from this fight. I know Volkanovski is naturally shorter than all his opponents, but like definitely a bigger frame, I feel like, on Diego. Gene Silva, though, I think is an inch shorter. Could be wrong. Let me check Chatology. Oh my God, dude, 5'11" to 5'7" with a 72.5 reach advantage to 69 on Gene Silva. Man, dude, that's kind of insane, though. Yeah, dude, that's a big bro. I did not know. Like I said, I'm noticing now how tall Diego Lopez is. Like, I guess I really never noticed. And yeah, that height and reach difference is something to look at, because I did not know that. Like, looking at Gene Silva, I would definitely, looking at Diego Lopez and Gene Silva, I would definitely look towards like how Gene Silva looks at fighting in the pocket. That's something that I'm gonna do film study on, and I'll release my fight prediction. I did want to look at this fight though. I know I'm talking about Gene Silva a lot, but this fight is important to look at because it demonstrates how Diego tries to get in. Obviously, with, like I said, Volk keeping the range, it made it hard for Diego to close that range, but you'll see eventually he kind of got almost there. Like I said, he had some success in some exchanges from what I remember. I do these off the fly, like literally freestyle, so sometimes I don't remember shit. The level changing him from Lopez, keeping him on the center, keeping him moving, playing that hand game. Something that Volk does weird is you usually see the hand game from Orthodox versus Southpaw. Orthodox versus Orthodox, and he's playing the hand game with the rear hand, Volkanovski is, and Diego is playing it with the lead hand. Very weird. Something that isn't usually taught, but can be very good at timing things like the jab and timing things on the level change. So very smart from Volkanovski, like I said. This was a technical matchup for Diego Lopez, so I think this is the perfect fight to lose on and come back and fight in fighter like Gene Silva, because yeah, you learn so much from a fight like this. 5-rounder in there with Volkanovski for the title fight. There was so much pressure build up, so much things he was probably working on in camp, that I think a fight like Gene Silva is like, okay, it's not a step down in a, I don't want to say a step down in an opponent, but definitely a step down in the pressure of fighting someone like a Volkanovski. But like I said, nevertheless, nice combo right there from Diego. Nevertheless, Gene Silva, great fucking fighter. Like, holding his own though, Lopez, kind of actually waiting until Volk comes in, which is interesting. So now we're seeing the adjustment, and he's actually now like almost waiting for Volk to come in. Instead of coming in, which is his game. Good jab from Volk, just keeping that jab out there. Yeah, it was more of a trip. As you see in there, like, if Gene Silva could be better here, not in grappling, if Gene Silva can be better here in the inside, and he could have great head movement like Volkanovski did, everything Volkanovski, when he was exchanging and going inside, everything was ending off in slips and rolls. If he could be as defensively sound as a Volkanovski, especially coming in on the inside, I think he could do a well job, Gene Silva. Diego's not the most technical in the world, but like I said, the position he's in right now to fight someone like Gene Silva is the perfect position. Yeah, I think he has the right amount of fights. I think he has the right amount of people on his resume, the right people on his resume to get him ready for this fight, to know what he needs to do to switch it up. And to get his game to the next level more than it already is. I think it's a humbling experience to lose a title fight like this. But when he had his moments, he had his moments. I forgot this fight was good jab. He's telling him, come on. That's one thing about Diego too. Like I was saying, Volk did a good job at being the better defensively sound inside the pocket. Oh my God, there it is. I was wondering when it was coming. Look at this combo, bro. Over the top, going back, rocks this shit. Volk is still good though, still throwing down. The super clean combo, but like I was saying, Volk being super clean inside the pocket, Gene Silva has to do that. And Diego Lopez can at times get caught with shit like that, where his head is on the center line and he can get caught with straight punches. And with the type of strikes that Diego Lopez throws, as you see there, it's wide hooks. Almost like half of his strikes is wide hooks. So you have to be defensively sound and you have to throw these short punches that are going to land and connect. I think Gene Silva's going to do a great job at using kicks. But yeah, just beating a guy like Diego Lopez, definitely a dangerous game, but you have to be defensively sound first. Or he'll do things like this. A beautiful combo over the top. Now, people were saying like Volk's chin was cracked before this fight. I don't remember that was the argument from people who were on Diego Lopez. And his chin honestly held up well for the shots he was taking, in my opinion. And we seen the Brian Ortega fight. I think that went to a decision. I could be wrong. I know he knocked him out and woke him up in the first, Diego Lopez. I just kind of question, listen, I don't want to say Diego Lopez doesn't have power because we've seen his knockouts. But I would give Gene Silva the edge, slight edge. I think if they both land clean on each other, man, but Diego has a chin though too, bro. Like Diego has a pretty decent chin. If we see Gene Silva land cleanly on Diego and he doesn't get hurt, I'm not gonna lie, that might be trouble, bro. Diego Lopez is the type of fighter that wants to make it a firefight, wants to make it a not necessarily a brawl, but wants to make it at his own pace. He wants to control when the exchanges happen and when he can get out the exchanges while y'all are striking in the octagon. So being Gene Silva, I'm not gonna lie, if I see him as a viewer, if I see him eat a punch from Gene Silva that is clean, I'm thinking he could take his power. And if he could take his power, Diego's game plan changes, I think. Now, Volkanovski, not a power puncher, but is super technical. So it was just more of like Diego Lopez was lost. I don't really think he was getting too hurt with these punches. From what I remember, I don't think he got hurt from Volkanovski super bad this fight. I think he got stunned later on.
To make you start making the mistake even more, because you know the consequences. Sometimes you get.
But yeah, so doing things like that, like Volkanovski just did there, feinting after combos, throwing multiple combos. Beautiful right there. Volk put all his power on that. But if we see Gene Silva land something like this, that hook on the chin, and you just see Diego go forward. Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm betting Diego Lopez, bro. Cause I know Gene Silva has the power, but I rate Diego Lopez's chin. And this is a 5-round too. Man, this is gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be fast too, bro. That's the thing. It's gonna be an interesting fight. Overhand coming in there. That's what I mean. Diego Lopez, very susceptible to leaving his head in the center line, especially when he's blitzing in. So a counter puncher on the back foot is the best matchup for Volk. Super easy for him to control the distance and also easy for him to be defensively sound because he's been that his whole career. So fighting someone like a Diego Lopez who is trying to get inside, and you're a counter puncher and you're controlling the pace, he did a perfect. All right, so I think Lopez knows here in the fourth that he's down a round or maybe two. I don't know what his corner told him, but we definitely have to see the adjustment here, and I think he made it this round. But I don't remember, actually, like, now that I'm watching this fight back again, I thought it was way closer than I thought. But now Volk won this pretty convincingly. Like, I thought Volk had a little bit more struggle, but he didn't. Volk was in his bag this fight. But like I said, Diego Lopez didn't do bad in holding his own, just got shut off defensively. Or sorry, offensively. And that's the difference with Volkanovski and Gene, is that Gene more than likely is probably not going to shut him out offensively, but is going to be more of a threat offensively to Diego Lopez. I know that for a fact. Just because obviously less technical than Volkanovski, way more just way more of a grittier. I don't even want to say grittier because y'all know Volkanovski is great. Oh, he hurt him there. See there, I was like, bro, where is the part where he gets hurt? So it's right here. He got hurt coming in on the inside. He was hurt bad, actually. Here, this is probably the worst he was hurt in the fight. He is just reacting. He's trying to keep Diego off of him. Good job, DC, by saying that. And like I said, he's still connecting while being hurt. That's something that Diego does bad, is that all his strikes are going to be wide shots. So his defense is going to lack at times, especially after throwing combos. So like I said, Volk being a counterpuncher. Beautiful recovery right here. So now I think Volk is recovered. I don't think anything else happens in this round. But yeah, so you can see how dangerous Lopez can be. Almost gets hit with an overhand coming in there. But you can see how dangerous Lopez can be. But also at the same time, if you're composed and you can fight on the back foot as Volk gets hit by another hook, you could definitely win against a fighter like Diego Lopez. As we see, jab. Oh, it was the glove that made the cut. What the fuck? Were those the new UFC gloves?
And now here comes the uppercut.
Cause this was oh my god, he landed the uppercut there. That's what hurt him.
That's what caused the reaction. The uppercut got the cut.
Dude, I didn't even see it. I thought that was a hook.
Oh, right on the money.
Yeah, bro. He tried to play it off like it was the eye. But nah, the uppercut was clean. He went right into it.
Potentially financial freedom might be 5 minutes away.
He's going to go guns blazing in his fifth and final round.
So, as of right now, it's 2-2. Oh my god, almost gets hit with another hook there. Diego Lopez is really good at throwing this combo right here, uppercut and ending off in a hook. That is a beautiful combo. And he set it up nice there with a double jab in the beginning. Yeah, so right now it's 2-2. I haven't been scoring this fight. From what I remember though, I thought Volk won by 2 rounds. I thought. But now I think he won by 1. And I think that's what the scorecards was. I'm forgetting hella, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it's actually a really good fight for a title fight.
Easy to score relative to round 2.
Good overhand there, man. That's what I mean. You show Diego Lopez different things. You could catch his defense lacking. Like I said, bro, if Gene Silva's landing shots like that clean, and he's not hurting them, I worry, because I feel like Lopez is going to be more on this type of game being on the front foot, being the aggressor while eating shots at the same time. I don't think that's the best route for Lopez, but how else is he gonna win? Like, realistically, his game is to get in there and get in the pocket, brawl, throw multiple hooks, double up things. Like, how realistically he can't out technical. Like, he can't for 5 rounds strike with Gene Silva. I don't think so. I don't think that's a way Diego Lopez could win.
Nice one, too.
Nice counter there. That got a reaction.
3 minutes now to decide the world title.
That was a good jab counter right there. So you're seeing, like, slowly the adjustment. Volk, who's a heavy back foot. Oh my God, nice hook there, bro. Volk is doing a good job at that. Like, Diego Lopez has a tendency of throwing that combo we were talking about earlier, the uppercut and hook right after. But when you throw the uppercut first without setting it up with the jab, you see with the combo we saw earlier, we saw it set up with a double jab, which was good. Volk couldn't really counter off of it, and the uppercut landed. With this one, he sets it up with one jab as Volk is throwing, and he comes with the uppercut and gets hit with the hook as he's throwing the uppercut. That's a knockout shot, bro. That is right on the chin. That's why I rate Diego Lopez's chin, because it's kind of crazy. And I know Volk is not a power puncher, but bro, some of the shots he was eating is crazy. Wait, what was he complaining? That jab is working super well this whole fight for Volkanovski, which I think Gene Silva needs to do as well. I think he needs to set up everything behind the jab. If he's not doing that, I think he's going to be predictable in what he throws, and I think that makes Diego dangerous for what he's throwing back. If nothing is set up by the jab, nothing is set up well, I think. Of course, you can mix things up with combos, but most of his combos that Gene Silva should be throwing should be set up by the jab. I think that is the key to beat someone like Diego Lopez. Another time he tries this combo, which is weird. Like, I feel like he's tried this throughout the fight and it's never, I don't want to say it's never worked, but switch it up, bro. And again, did he throw a jab behind this? There's no jab thrown behind this, so it's like setting up an uppercut from so far out. It's kind of hard to land. I don't like he does that. I'm not gonna lie. He got hit with an overhand coming in the inside too. Like, I don't. Good hook on the return. I just think if as a fighter, and I don't remember this from Gene Silva. I would have to watch Gene Silva, which I'm probably gonna do after this. But honestly, if you are defensively sound, I think you could beat Diego Lopez. I'm not saying he's like a bad fighter, but definitely, like, his worst thing is defense. And I always said, like, you gotta be or a farmer now and shit, like, bro. But, like, you gotta be defensively sound, and especially in MMA, smaller gloves, more variety of punches and kicks that are getting thrown at you, grappling involved. Like, defense is the #1 thing, I think. So I think, honestly, I think this fight is going to be whoever has the better defense. Whoever has the better defense wins and lands first and should win by TKO or KO. That's how I think. As far as this fight, it's a good fight for Diego Lopez to learn off of. Like I said, fighting a Gene Silva after a fight like this is the perfect timing. Everything involved with this fight was pressure built up. It was a 5-round fight. It was Volkanovski, former champ, for the belt. I think this is a perfect fight right after. But like I said, if he's still doing these defensive tendencies, still getting hit clean by shots, still not setting up things with the jab, I don't think he can win. And I think if Gene Silva is setting up things with the jab, and I think he's being more defensively sound, I think we'll see a knockout. I do like Lopez's chin, but man, Gene Silva's a different beast, bro. That's all I wanted to talk about. I'll go follow the Twitter. I'm gonna pull up the Twitter now. It will be in the description. Y'all follow the Twitter. I post frequently on here. You can't win unless you lose. That's facts. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'll be making another video on like my official prediction. I didn't do too much film, too much fight research to give y'all official prediction today. I just wanted to talk about Diego Lopez and his fight with Volk, because it's been a minute since I watched that fight. And rewatching it back, I noticed some things. All right, and I hope you guys did too. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything, any discussions, let's talk, bro. Comment, like the vid, and yeah, y'all stay safe, man. Peace.